For many people, making ends meet has to be done with a low income, and this can be very tough. Fortunately, it's not necessary to have high income or rich parents to easily make it by and build wealth. It's actually quite amazing how one can easily get by with just a little bit of strategic planning. And whether you're old and need to find a way to save up more for retirement, or young and just starting to build wealth, you'll benefit from these 8 frugal living tips to live on a crazy low income. Be sure to watch until the last point, because getting rid of this massive expense can make you increasingly wealthy very fast. Number 1. Only buy what you need. It's easy to open up your computer or your phone and look through Amazon to buy a new piece of clothing, or go to a Bed Bath & Beyond to look for some great new decorations. But if you ask yourself whether you need that new piece of clothing or those new decorations, can you confidently answer yes? For example, let's say you buy an emulsion blender for $50, but you only used it 3 times since you bought it over a year ago. If the amount you use an item shows you what it's worth, then the emulsion blender costs approximately $16 per use. However, it can be hard to tell what you really need and what you don't, so it's best to utilize the 24-hour rule when you're thinking of making a purchase. If you still desire the product after 24 hours, then the chances are it's something that you're really going to use. You'll probably be surprised at how much less you're going to buy items and how much more money you'll be saving that can be put to better use. Number 2, practice cooking. There's no shortage of restaurants that have extensive menus with tasty items on them. Not only are there commercial restaurants like McDonald's, Subway, or Taco Bell, but there are local restaurants that specialize in unique flavors and dishes from all over the world. With this much choice, it's much easier to get takeout than to make your own food at home. And while $10 to $20 a day isn't a big deal for a high-income family, it's definitely not the case for low-income families. With that in mind, it's time to put on an apron, sharpen your knives, and learn how to cook your own food. There are tons of tutorials and recipes online that can show you how to replicate your favorite takeout meals for a fraction of the cost. Not only that, but it'll likely be much healthier, and you may even get to a point where you enjoy the taste of your dish more. As an extra bonus, since you know exactly what ingredients you'll need for your meals, you can make your grocery list very specific and only buy what you need, lowering the overall cost of your grocery bill. Learning to cook your own food is a must to live on a low income. Number 3, avoid debt. Most people know that debt is a dangerous thing to deal with when it comes to finances. While many of us understand this, debt has a sneaky way to catch people in its talons. For example, let's say you want to buy a new car, but you don't have enough finances to get it, so you take out a loan. This one debt to pay may not be a big deal, but let's say that something happens to your car which needs to be repaired. Unfortunately, since you have the loan to pay back, you don't have enough money to fix the car with cash, so you have to get another loan. This debt cycle continues onwards and onwards, making it extremely difficult to live and have financial stability. It's important to avoid debt as much as possible on a low income. This will ensure that all the money you spend is indeed money you have, and that you're living within your means. Number 4, reduce your transportation costs. Transportation is the second largest expense that the average household has to deal with. It's no surprise that cars aren't cheap, and neither are the costs of using them. With loan payments, gas, insurance, general maintenance, and emergency fixes, it can be really difficult to keep up with payments. In fact, Credit Karma says that the average car costs about $568 a month. This may be doable for those with higher incomes, but it can be a real challenge for those with a lower income. So, what can be done? Well, a good start is to see if you can get rid of a car altogether. It can be much cheaper to walk, bike, or take local transit to get where you need to go. However, if you do need to have a car for regular use, then consider getting a reliable used car. This way, you don't have to worry about high insurance costs or depreciation. Also, with a good used car, you can get many years out of it if you're committed to regular maintenance. And to make the most of lowering your transportation costs, try to make multiple stops on a trip and avoid driving when you can. This will ensure you can continue building wealth on a crazy low income. Number 5, figure out your spending. Picture this scenario. You're opening your mobile banking app to go make some bill payments. However, when you log into your account, you notice the amount in your checking account is extremely small. At this point, you're wondering where it all went. If you relate to this story, then you need to figure out where you're spending. Creating a budget for your income and expenses is something that benefits both the low income and high income, but is especially useful for low income families. It's the only way to know how much you're spending every month, and if you're living below your means. Fortunately, it's extremely simple to create a budget. First, start by figuring out your monthly income. If you are someone who has variable income, like someone who's self-employed, then figure out your average income over your business lifetime. Once that's done, add up your fixed monthly expenses. These expenses are bill payments like mortgage, rent, car payments, insurance, phone bills, and any expense that stays the same every month. After you've figured out your fixed expenses, add up your variable expenses. These range from eating out to grocery shopping, gas payments, etc. Once you've figured out all of your income and expenses, you'll clearly see where most of your money is going and how to fix it, so you can make it easier to live on a crazy low income. Number 6. Lower your energy usage. Energy is one of the most used commodities of any household. Most of what we use in our homes is powered by electricity, so it's only natural for energy to be one of those major expenses. With a low income, high energy costs can be seriously detrimental, but there are lots of little ways to lower your consumption, so you can continuously build wealth on a low income. For instance, you could find out what time of day energy costs are the cheapest. During those times, you can do your laundry, run your dishwasher, and use your thermostat. With a little creativity and thought, you can drastically reduce your energy usage and pay much less for those bills. Number 7. Enjoy inexpensive activities. There are tons of fun activities that don't require much spending at all, but many people will often take the expensive route when hanging out with friends. For example, a regular day out with friends could mean eating at a nearby restaurant, going shopping at the local mall, and grabbing a frozen yogurt. While the outing may have been lots of fun, it can easily cost $75 per person or more, and that's not sustainable with a low income. Instead, opt for fun activities that don't require spending, like going to the park to play frisbee with friends, or having a picnic at a nearby wildlife conservation area. Or, if you like dinners, then have you and your friends take turns to host at their homes, while everyone brings their own food and drinks. This way, you can keep the fun socializing you have with your friends, without having to empty your wallet. Number 8. Live in your home for free. It shouldn't be a surprise that the largest expense anyone can have is a house, and eliminating your largest expense can free tons of money every month, making living very easy. But how can you live in your home for free if you have a mortgage to pay? The easiest way to do this is by using parts of your home to rent out to others. For example, if you have a large home with spare rooms, you could rent out the rooms and use the payments to pay your mortgage and bills. Another option could be renting your parking space for people to use. Lastly, renting out storage space is an excellent way to make the most of your home, to live for free. By getting rid of your biggest expense, your life will change for the better, because you'll have so much more income in your hands to build wealth with. For a low-income household, getting rid of the biggest expense will change your life. While you've learned some of the smartest frugal living tips to live on a crazy low income, there are many more tips, tricks, and habits to observe. And if that's something that interests you, consider having a look at our other videos. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss a video. Thanks for watching.